My name is Sarah Cote, and I'm here with head coach Tom Poitras. The University of Hartford men's soccer team just opened up their season at the West Virginia University Nike Classic, where they played two very hard-fought games against the Mountaineers and the Nittany Lions. Both games suffered one-goal setbacks, 2-1 at West Virginia, 3-2 at Penn State. Now, in opening weekend, there obviously was a lot of goal scoring for the Hawks. That's something that you guys kind of struggled early on last year. Can you talk about what the difference is offensively so far?
Well, I think that, we have a lot of guys returning on the attacking side of the ball, so we weren't surprised that we're a little ahead on the attacking side than we were on the defensive side. But now we need to kind of shore up the defense a little bit because we know we're going to score some goals. We know we're going to get some chances with the guys we have going forward. Now we just got to solidify the defense a little bit. And, we played two competitive games. We were 10 minutes, from the end of each game at 1-1 and obviously conceded some goals late in the game. So that's an area we want to improve on.
Now, you mentioned the defense is obviously young. It's consisted of all freshmen and sophomores, including a freshman goalkeeper in Viltsu Toomey. Can you talk about the good things that you saw this weekend from that young defense?
Yeah, well, they're progressing quickly. Damian Lowe played outstandingly this weekend. If he wasn't the best defender in the whole tournament, he was right up there with the top two. So he had great performance. He's a good leader for our defense. And Viltsu's coming along. We had a really strong game on Saturday night. On Monday night, we were a little off, and we gave up a couple late goals. But they're coming along. They're getting used to each other, and now they're starting to communicate a lot more, and they're starting to work together a lot better. A couple of the other, guys are starting to talk a little more. Mateus Axelson and Connor Yaney are doing a good job, and then Simon Turson is a new guy back there, and he's getting a little more comfortable. But those were two pretty tough games to get started in for those young guys, and they handled themselves pretty well.
Now, 5 goals is obviously a lot to concede. Granted, it was opening weekend. Can you talk about what changes need to be made coming into the weekend and what you worked on specifically in practice?
Yeah, this week we've spent a lot of time, just tracking and marking in the box, and then being able to keep possession of the ball a little bit too, I think will help us. So we worked on offense to try and help our defense. If we have the ball a little more and we're not losing it quite as easily, we'll be able to get ourselves forward. We won't have to defend quite as much, and we should, if you have the ball, they can't score.
So you have your third straight road game coming up when you travel to the Bronx to take on the Fordham Rams, a team where last year's home opener for you guys, actually it was a season opener for both teams, got a little disrupted due to Hurricane Irene. Fordham had to come back. They won 1-0 with an early goal in the 6th minute. I'm sure this is kind of a big matchup that you've been looking forward to. Can you talk about it?
Yeah, no, Fordham is off to a good start on their season. They're 1-1. They beat Adelphi and lost at Rutgers, so they've got off to a good start. And this is an important game for us to kind of finish up our third game in a row on the road, and we want to continue to grow and develop as a young team. They lost a couple of their key guys from last year's team, but they return a pretty solid team, and they're going to be a tough opponent for sure. And they're at home, so it's going to make it a little easier for them. But our guys are getting used to being road warriors right now.